Hello, it's Ash. Um, this is exciting. This is exciting. I am coming to you from the comfort of my living room floor, and this is a long time coming, like a very long time coming. Um, I'm coming to talk about this new masterclass offering that is coming to you hot, fresh, straight from lived experience and what I have been guiding private clients through and what I have been living myself as an empowered, conscious, spiritual, soul-led, dynamic, multidimensional woman. And I want to give you some context, and then this will be the official invitation, the official opening, and the beginning of a whole new body of work, a whole new threshold of my leadership, of my teachings. And honestly, it matches what we're already seeing. Some of us are seeing in the collective and out in our everyday world as it relates to being a woman, being in a relationship, romance, love, wealth, money, all the things. So a couple of days ago, I was coaching someone, and this particular person had such a situation going on in their life that I had to show them the way. Like I had to show them how they were perpetuating their own frustration. And in that moment, of me highlighting what was really going on in her life, like it makes me actually emotional thinking about it again. She was like, oh my God, I just didn't see it. I didn't see it. And I'm seeing more and more and more of this. I didn't see it on the internet and in regular day-to-day interactions, especially with women. Now, if you know me for a while, and if you don't, I will tell you and give you a little bit of my journey here and how I came to be and why I'm speaking to you today. But I am basically first gen everything, like first gen college educated, first gen entrepreneur, first gen immigrant, expat, first gen white collar, first gen, all the things. And I'm also the only daughter and the second oldest, right? So all of these different labels and lived experience is one of the reasons why I do what I do, because I've always been curious about what does it mean to live the life that you were born to live. And when you are not given the things that you feel that you needed to be given in order to be who you came here to be, what do you do? What do you have to learn? What do you have to overcome? Who do you need to be around in order for you to, I wouldn't say supplement, but to receive the teachings and the support and the guidance for you to be exactly who you came here to be, right? And we do this regardless to whatever your identifiers and your lived experience, right? That's just part of being a human, and it's a part of adulting. And we all have heard, if you haven't, I don't know where you've been living, but we've all heard about the hero's journey. And more, I'm realizing that most women right now, especially if you're a millennial, but most women right now who are spiritual, woke, driven to change, have a great call on their life, have a desire or something they want to create out in the world, we don't realize that we're actually on the heroine's journey. And that is different than the hero's journey. And so I was sitting and speaking with this woman about what she had created in her life. And when she realized how she had co-created the situation that she did not like, that she was frustrated with, that she was pointing fingers at everybody else. It was such a profound moment. It was a truly pivotal moment in her life, and it was truly transformational. It was a moment where she dropped the victimhood and truly stepped into the power of being woman. Now, right now on the internet, I don't know about your threads, but everywhere we look, there is conflict and separation and gaps and arguing between the masculine and the feminine, between men and women, between others and humans at scale, right? Even if you go to the grocery store, we see people having little spats and sputes and all these things. And of course, that's part of the human experience. Yes. I understand that is true. And it's like we are regurgitating and cycling through the things in the world that we don't even want to live in our life. And in particular, we're doing it as people who are the pattern breakers, as the people who are like, I'm coming here to live my dream, to create impact, to connect, to like do something powerful with your life for yourself. And then that has a ripple effect out in the world, right? And so more and more I'm seeing the ways in which us women aren't taking, and I know this is going to ruffle some feathers, but hear me out, aren't truly taking the level of radical responsibility and accountability we need for creating the life that we want, creating the relationships we want, creating the romance and the love that we want, creating the devotion and the respect that we want, creating the homes and the atmosphere that we want, creating the wealth that we want, right? And there's just more and more of this dialogue of us versus them, of women being liberated and against the masculine, of coming into matriation or rematriating and being anti-patriarch, and like all of these different things. And I'm like, why are we at war with ourselves? Why? And what is this like narrative or this program that's going across us, right? That's running through culture and society that is perpetuating this, both within ourselves and also outside in our day-to-day experiences. So as I ended up mentoring and coaching this particular woman, and she had this breakthrough of really seeing the unseen, unconscious, subconscious, personal, ancestral, and cultural wounds, fears, and narratives that she was holding on to, and that was running the show behind the scenes, she could see how she is 100% responsible for the negative outcomes in which she was creating in her life. And by the way, this is an incredible, accomplished, beautiful, gorgeous, amazing woman with whom I am so grateful I get to work with, and is doing something beautiful in the world, right? And so I find myself so enamored what happens when we can sit down in community, be fully seen, speak the full truth, and receive the illumination of how we are creating a reality that we don't want to live in. And what would happen with us women if we truly stepped into our responsibility, our accountability, and actually wield the power that we really have. Not to perpetuate being power over, but just being present in our power to create what we want. There's like not enough words to say what I can feel, which is part 2 of what I want to talk about. What I'm also noticing out in the world is there is so much talk. There's more information, and that's ironic because I'm talking, right? But like, there's so much information, there's so much talking, there's so many quotes, but where is the embodiment? Where is I saw this out in the world, it illuminated something in me, and now I'm going to change. I'm going to think, not just in my behavior, not just in my actions, but I'm going to actually change what I believe, change how I see myself, show up differently, see things differently. Like, seeing things differently is a game changer. When you see the world with new eyes, when you see yourself with new eyes, the world becomes a whole new place for you. It becomes a completely different playground. And that's what I want to help more women and men, because I do take male clients and work with men and talk to men and hang out with men, do, because it's absolutely necessary right now. It's becoming beyond necessary. We are at an apex of separation and fragmentation and war, literally within ourselves and within each other. So when I see these quotes of women talking negatively about men and their experiences with men, I'm like, you are speaking about your sons, your brothers, your uncles, your cousins, your neighbors, your friends, your lover, your husband, your man, your right? And yourself, your father, and yourself. And when men are out here saying the things that they're saying in their experiences, you are speaking about your sisters and your mothers and your cousins and your friends, and right? And yourself, because you have the feminine inside of you. What I'm called to offer right now is a journey to show you the pathway to true freedom, the pathway to self-empowerment, the pathway to a pathway. I won't say the pathway because there's many paths, right? But a pathway of remembering not just the divinity, but truly what you're capable of and what you're here to do in your own way. If you're not familiar with the evolution of my work, it was leaving advertising and becoming a conscious business and spiritual brand strategist. And I've been doing that work for over 10 years. And then as I worked more and more with entrepreneurs and wellness company owners and small business owners and so on and so forth, and also executives and people in all types of businesses, I'm like, this isn't even about just you and you having a brand or a business that is conscious and, you know, you love. This is about healing. You are blocking yourself. Your imprints from your family, from the culture, from the narratives out in the world are sabotaging your growth. And so we went into ancestral healing and more personal life coaching, right? Subconscious reprogramming, pattern changing. And the further we got into that, it really came down to, as the ancestral mothers and the ancestral fathers would speak, they would talk about the balancing of the energies, coming into rightful relationship with the matriarch and the patriarch, within and without. And so while, you know, things go through phases and we go through seasons of things and there are eras, and we are clearly in an era of separation, but the era of coming together is happening. We are at the tip. We are at the beginning of that, which is what I'm offering you and inviting you into. She Who Creates is a 5-day masterclass, transmission, teaching, workshop, and in some ways part of an awakening. And I would say it is specifically for women, because I'm a woman and I'm here to help women prepare ourselves, because we go first energetically. The womb is there before we ever have penetration or anything else. The womb, the egg, the potentiality, the universe, it is here. So we go first energetically. There's more to teach about this when you step inside. But She Who Creates is a specific 5-day experience for women who want to start mastering their power, who know that in some ways, it makes me emotional. In some ways, you are playing victim to what you're actually capable of. And time again, I have seen when us women drop into our hearts and when we stand in our truth and our power, and we come from a place of unity and like consciousness of the truth of what is really true, it brings us together. It's where men will feel and men show up, right? It's when men remember who they are. It's when we remember who we are. It's when we allow the overflow of what we're able to hold and to believe in and to conceive. It starts to flow out of us and ripple out in the world, not because you are doing, not because of effort, but because you are being the woman that you were always created to be. So over these 5 days, I'm going to be literally rolling out the red carpet of the teachings I have been developing for 3 years now. Consciously developing for 3 years. Unconsciously, I've been working on this for since 2019, 2020, so about 5 years. And it's time to lay out that red carpet and walk you through the journey and let you see who you are and where you are in your real, what I call real women's empowerment. Because the woman's empowerment that leaves you constantly in cycles of burnout, constantly regurgitating narratives of being exhausted, of being abandoned, of being a victim, of being disrespected and hurt, like we have to stop that, right? It starts with us first, and then the world reflects us. I can't wait for this 5-day masterclass series. This is me officially inviting you into it. The information and the details are obviously in the link in my bio, so you can read more about it if this intrigues you. I won't go on and on and on and on, but I will say we are going to touch on the framework, if you will. I'm going to talk a lot about the breakthroughs and the journeys and the tools, the perspective shift, the remembrance and the awakening within you, and you can digest it and figure it out how it gets to be applied in your body for your destiny, for your life. And then each day we're going to break down an awakening and an empowerment practice and experience relative to every area, every main area of life. So your purpose, your business, your career, your self-concept, this is not in the order it'll be, obviously, your self-concept, your identity, your embodiment, your expression, what you say, what you communicate, what you stand for, your home, both physical home, but also your temple home, and so on and so forth. I'm really excited. This is truly a body of work, and I'm excited to just share it with you and see how it impacts you positively and changes your life and your world. Please, if you're interested in this, you have questions, send me a message. If you are someone who wants to hold on to the narratives of men and women are arguing and fighting and pointing the fingers at each other and but, and that's all great. I did all these things and still men, like, don't come, please don't come. But if you feel that way and you want to have a different experience in your life, you want to reclaim the wealth that is actually already yours, you want to create your next level of freedom, of beauty, of joy. I don't care what is happening in this world. We have the power to create the world you want to live in. And if you don't believe that, then that's part of the cycle that needs to be broken. Yes? I can't wait to see you. We are starting on July 24th, so you have plenty of time to see promo, content, conversations, things I'll be putting out about this 5-day masterclass series. You can register with the link in my bio. It is She Who Creates, for the woman who is ready to take radical, not even ready, for the woman who is taking radical responsibility for her energy, her presence, her words, her power to create the world she wants to live in next. I'll see you inside. July 24th, we start. I'm sending you lots of love wherever you are. Bye.